Hey there! Welcome to the What's Your Thing podcast, where we're all about great conversations with interesting people.
That's right. I'm Brennan.
And I'm Caitlin.
There's something awesome about every person, a thing that makes them truly unique.
We want to know what it is about everyone, so we're asking,
What's your thing?
Welcome back to the What's Your Thing podcast, everybody. It's episode number 23.
Wow.
I'm Brennan.
I'm Caitlin.
We're going to switch it up this week because we're going to do a little bit of a What's Your Thing and we're going to do a Try Your Thing. And Caitlin, you're going to be the resident expert for our experiment of the month. We're going to do a little bit of a lifestyle change, right? Tell us what you're going to do.
Awesome. So the What's Your Thing, Try Your Thing is trying carnivore for 30 days. And we have two guests here with us. We have our father, Mr. Shannon Delaney, who has been carnivore for how many weeks, Shanny? 6 weeks?
I was dirty carnivore starting about November 8th till around beginning of January. And then I've gone strictly carnivore since then.
Okay. And then we have our cousin, Shanny's nephew, Evan, who was a very strict carnivore, went away from it, and then is coming back to it and is going to be with us for the month as our resident expert. Evan, you lost 100 pounds with carnivore, didn't you?
97 in about 11 months.
Wow. So for me, I'm used to elimination diets. I thought I'd give this a try. My juxtaposition is that I was vegetarian for 4 years and then I added veganism for 14 months. So I've definitely done this. I know I have the willpower to do this. Getting used to being vegetarian or vegan is a tough thing. I'm nervous about carnivore. I did it for 4 days before. I found it really restrictive because, as you guys know, I work in media. I do a lot of dinners out. I do lunches at the office. So I'm not worried about not having the willpower. I'm worried that it's just going to be so inconvenient for me. So, because, when I was vegan, every restaurant you go to, if we order in for lunch, you can always order a salad, but, you can't just order a steak. But you can't order plain chicken wings. So
there's an art to it, actually.
Yeah.
You'll find in the carnivore space, anyways, you get a lot of people that will find a place that they know makes a decent steak. A lot of people are pretty strict on, done in butter, and they'll order eggs as their side. And I've done this myself, and I haven't a place yet that said no. So it becomes a handy little hack to kind of work your way around it. You will get questions. You will get questions. But
Evan, let's start there because you were saying 97 pounds. I think that's like I struggle losing 10 pounds. I think that's pretty difficult for people to conceptualize. Like that's a lot of weight. Where did it come? Where did carnivore come from? What brought you into this?
So I guess you could say I've kind of been on a lifelong health journey as far as my personal health goes. For years, I've tried many different things. I've done Atkins. I've done, the counting calories thing. I've done workout regimens, P90, that sort of thing. And I've always kind of been a heavier guy. No secret to anybody who knows me. I eventually got to a point where I was just feeling awful and I was concerned. I was thinking my health is on a bobsled going downhill really fast. And I got to stop this if I want to be around for my kids. So that was my why. And I just started to delve into things as most people do on YouTube, TikTok, that sort of thing. And I came across guys like Dr. Ken Berry, Dr. Anthony Chafee, Dr. Elizabeth Bright, Lisa Wiederman, all these health professionals who basically come out and said, what we've learned has been incorrect, and they found that in their own lives. So I found that to be quite credible. When you have, somebody that's been a doctor for years and they come out and they say, I started to have health problems and I didn't know what to do. So I did what I told my patients to do and it didn't work. And then I found this kind of through a back alley and tried it, and they've been reaping the benefits ever since. So I saw things like this, and I really got into the idea of fasting and intermittent fasting. Researched a lot, watched a lot of Dr. Jason Fung, fantastic doctor from Toronto, Canada, and just kind of resonated with me the benefits of what making a lifestyle change to that extent could do. And as you know, I've always been an all or nothing type of guy. I don't step in with one leg, I'm jumping in the pool. And so I decided, okay, I'll give this a shot. And I started with a lot of intermittent fasting. I reduced my diet down to, bare bones, kind of pretty strict keto. And I started to have success. And then as I watched more and more about the carnivore stuff, um, I just thought, okay, well, I can do this. I can do the keto. I can do the intermittent fasting thing. And I mean, I was doing 5, 6 day fasts, no problem. And so I said, all right, I'm going to try the carnivore thing. So then I went to what people call OMAD, 1 meal a day. Uh, and I integrated carnivore into that. And the weight just kept falling off. I'd be losing, a pound or two a day sometimes for weeks. And within 11 months, I was down 97 pounds in the best shape of my life and never felt better. So that's
I'm
kind of where I came to this whole thing.
I'm not on the carnivore diet. I'm observing Caitlin as she accepts this challenge. I to trade you off, Caitlin, I'm going to do that hot food tasting challenge. So we'll see if that's any funny. I'm actually currently doing I'm on 20 hours and 43 minutes of a fast with just water and coffee. So in the spirit of trying to get behind you guys, I'm jumping on that. We're going to move on to our father, Shanny, if you don't mind me calling you that for the duration of the next couple of weeks. You kind of were led into this by Evan. Tell us your experience, how you're feeling.
A couple of years ago, I was not feeling too well, and I was having a lot of problems with the regular heartbeat. And I decided that I had to do something right away. So I started to fast, and Evan and I sort of fell into carnivore together. I found it on YouTube as well. All the doctors he mentioned, Chafee, Baker. And I did it until my regular heartbeat got really bad, and I didn't know if it was that or not. I went to a cardiologist, and things turned around. We're not sure what it was exactly was it from. It could have been from a certain thing we all had to take a few years ago. But again in November, I started to feel really awful, and I just thought, well, I had success on carnivore before, and I felt good, so I want to return to that. So I started in November. I was up at family thing, and I for 3 days I didn't join anyone. I couldn't get out of bed. That was terrible. And since then, my health has totally skyrocketed. I feel I've lost about 35 pounds. I went from a double X shirt down to a large, and I feel really good. I eat once a day. Um, I'm not much of a vegetable eater, so it's not hard for me that way. I never liked vegetables very much. But meat, I used to be a very lean, like eat lean chicken, lean beef, lean everything. Now I cook my hamburger, whatever amount I feel like. I fry it up. I like it a little seared on the outside, and whatever is left over in beef grease, I pour it on my beef, and that is the best part. The taste is unbelievable. So I'm never hungry, and I'm feeling really good.
I'm
So
gonna,
my
yeah.
question, if that's okay, Brennan. So, like I said, I did carnivore for like 3 days and I found it inconvenient and I gave up. So, so we're going to meet again next Tuesday. So, today is Tuesday, April 2nd, 2024. We're going to meet again next Tuesday. What is your best advice for me to get me through these next 7 days?
So I would say um, electrolyte replacement. So whether that be a salt or there's uh, there's carnivore friendly electrolyte replacement element T. Um, You want the unflavored stuff. You don't want the stuff that has hidden carbs and sugars, because they do have a line that's mainly keto, but the one that is more towards the carnivore is the unflavored kind. You're going to want to
Yeah.
definitely make sure that you get lots of that. If you don't, that's when a lot of people feel the heavy effects of what they call the keto flu. Um, and I mean, you probably won't escape all of it. You will have to endure some hardship. There's no pleasure without a little bit of pain, I guess. But you can expect, there's going to be the headaches, that sort of stuff. It's really withdrawal. It's I would say, uh, I am a food addict, 1,000%. Uh, if you put it in front of me, I haven't met a carbohydrate I don't like, um, and I can eat it. There is no satiation signal with me and carbohydrates. Um, so the cravings are going to be there. You might dream of food, but if you realize that once you get past that 10 days to 2 weeks mark, things will improve drastically and you'll start to feel really, really good. Um, if you can keep that in mind as a goal, that's going to be big for getting through that first little bit, because a lot of people fall off at the beginning, and I think it's quite commonplace that, you know if you've never been an addict with anything else before, and I mean, I think most people don't realize that they're food addicts, but I would say, given a lot of research that I've done, I think most people are food addicts. They just don't know it.
Mm.
So you're going to go through that for sure. You're going
And
to
if
go through the
you
cravings. You just have to power through that. Day 3, that's going to be a tough day, because that's about the time it's going to take for the real sugars and plant toxins in your body to kind of get out of there, and then you're going to hit the withdrawal symptoms, and you're going to have to, I know we kind of spoke about this in jest before. Be mindful of your bathroom activity. That's, I don't know, a clear way of putting that. But yeah,
if you feel like
the
going,
old,
you better go, because you're not going to make it if you don't.
Okay.
yes,
And that is the worst
yeah,
part of the beginning, for me anyway.
that is,
So you're
yeah,
you're
that
very
is.
limited in what you can put in your food and stuff like that. Is there a restriction on coffee or anything like that? If you're drinking, obviously you're not going to put cream, or is there any kind of
Or
high
can I
fat,
put
low sugar?
35% cream in my coffee?
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah,
big.
So
30,
so
over
there's
30%. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a few schools of thought on that. You've got the purists who, I mean, the same thing you get in like the vegan vegetarian communities, where if it's not animal based, and stay away from dairy and anything that's a plant, which coffee is, then you shouldn't be having it. Myself personally, I drink coffee, no problem. I use Redmond's real salt. I add salt in my coffee, electrolyte replenishment. I don't bother with the element tea stuff, and I'll throw butter in my coffee, just to get my fat up. Because realistically, carnivore might be a bit of a misnomer there. It should more likely be fativore, and you'll hear that argument if you kind of get into this whole thing. So yeah, you want to concentrate on the fat. You got to get your fat up. Um, and I mean, I'm not a female, but from what I've seen, the fact that you're going to be eating so much more fat and protein really benefits your hormones and things like that. So all this stuff is regulating in that first 2 weeks.
So
Interesting.
next, I'll go to you, Dad. What's we understand that it's a lifestyle change, and especially in your cases, Evan and Dad, you've spoken to that. But what is your goal out of this? Is there an optimal weight you want to hit? Is there a certain like inches, or you lead us to that? Like, where is there somewhere you aim to get to, or are you kind of just going with the flow?
The first time it was to lose weight. Um, that was the goal. And I got down to 200 pounds. Um, this time I have no weight goal. This is a lifestyle. I'm not changing it. I was 240. I'm down to 205. I don't care if I lose another pound or not. I just feel good. I can do things. I have energy. I don't, my blood pressure is not through the roof. Um, and my anxiety has gone down by 1,000%. I find that normal things that used to get me revved up, it doesn't affect me at all now. go
Do
through it,
you
go,
now? I mean, there's no science on this that I've seen this, but anecdotally, do you think that the sugar was affecting your mood?
Oh, definitely. From what I feel now and what I used to feel like, I definitely feel it was affecting my mood in a very drastic way.
Mm.
And I was a sugar addict for sure. We used to eat just crazy amounts of carbs, and now I, it's just like you have a different body the way you feel. It's just like you traded in your old one for a new one. You feel so much better. That's the best way I can describe it to you.
So what
Well,
started out as a weight loss is now a lifestyle. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, for me,
so
it's a lifestyle now. I'm sure I'll lose some more weight, but I like the other day I bought a large T-shirt because I hadn't worn large in I don't know how many years, and just to try it on, and it fit perfectly, and that's why I know it's working. And that way, I feel better. I can walk my dogs now, go 4 or 5 miles, and it's just like I used to when I was younger. There's no problem. I'm nearly 70, so
I
it's amazing.
a lot of the videos that you guys shared with me and stuff to prep for this said that it's really they said first of all it's 90 days to really see the full effects. I've committed to 30, but I'm not ruling out 90 days. And they said that really, especially for women, the scales are not going to be a good indicator because they said as your bones get stronger, your muscles get denser. So they said the only really thing that you can do is like take your measurements. So I bought a measuring tape and I'm going to take my measurements today. And then I will, if you're interested, comment if you'd like me to share at the end of the 30 days what my measurements started with
And,
and what they are.
Absolutely.
and
And also
that's
post your meals. Like, I want to see what what you guys are eating because I might be the next one to jump on board with this.
It can
you
be
will
slightly
find
mundane.
Yeah.
you'll find that your inches will drop a lot quicker than the weight.
Yeah.
Like my pant size has gone down. I wear a belt all the time that I like, and I used to be in the very last hole, and I had to pull my gut in to put it on. And now, if I pull the belt at all, I'm down to the fifth or sixth hole, I haven't lost that much weight, but it's just the inches have gone. And my chest, well, like I said, I couldn't get a double X I could wearing for a shirt, and now a large fits perfectly. So all those inches fell off, and I stalled for a long time at 210, but I knew I was losing inches, and that's what you have to look at. Don't worry about the scale; it'll catch up after.
I've experienced the same thing already just in the month that I've kind of been back doing this. Um, I'm down 20 pounds. And realistically, the first like 12 to 13 pounds came off like nothing within a week. But I mean, you're losing inflammation, you're losing water weight, that sort of thing. And that's the one thing you'll find joint pain and stuff like that will kind of just fade away. But yeah, like Uncle Shannon said, if you if you don't see it on the scale, it doesn't mean that nothing's happening. Usually it is. Like for me, at my biggest, I was wearing 3X shirts. At my smallest, I was into an extra large. What this kind of does is it puts you to where you're supposed to be. That seems to be very commonplace within the carnivore lifestyle is that people will find that they get to that place where that's where their body should be, and then they just kind of hang out there. And I mean, if they wanted to go really crazy and crazy fast and stuff like that, I'm sure you could push it. But yeah, the non-scale victories you'll find are just as important and just as profound as anything you see on the scale.
Hey,
And
that's
actually,
sorry. Yeah, Caitlin, just back to Charlie we had on a bit ago when he was personal training. He always told me that he's like, buddy, avoid the scale. He's like, go by how you look and how you feel. That was his big thing. He knew what he was
Definitely.
talking about.
And as far as what we eat, Evan is a big steak eater. He loves steak. I'm not so much. I like my ground beef, and that's pretty well what I have bacon and eggs the odd time, and the odd time we'll have chicken, but I'm just a beef guy. I like the burgers.
I
So
just don't feel the same on chicken.
yeah, can I tell you guys what I have had to eat so far today, and you can tell me if I'm doing a good job?
Please.
So
Sure.
I was scouting all day, so I had to go to the west end of Ottawa. Then I had to go out to Brockville. For if our viewers don't know, it was an hour and 15-minute drive and drive back. So on the road. Um, I stopped in at a little diner because I was half an hour early for my first appointment because I came from the airport. I flew in this morning. So I had 2 over easy eggs and 4 pieces of bacon. And then for lunch, we went to Thousand Island Goose Brewery. And the only thing I found on the menu is they had pork rinds. No, sorry, pork belly that they tossed in hoisin sauce and topped with Asian slaw. So I just got them to make me pork belly for lunch. And that was all I had. It was just fried
What I
pork.
thought is a good cheat. Like you had bacon and eggs for lunch, but if we go somewhere that like that, if they have breakfast, I just get bacon and eggs again.
Yeah.
That's what I'll have. And get the extra hungry man's size without
Yeah.
toast and without home fries, and that's my go-to when I go out. It's easy.
Okay.
If the place has it.
So
Depends.
should I eat again tonight, knowing that I had 4 pieces of bacon, 2 eggs, and then, probably 2 full pieces of pork belly? Do I need to eat again tonight?
What
Are you
is your
hungry?
body telling you? Are you
I'm
hungry?
not hungry. I'm thirsty because it's a lot of salt compared to the last, like yesterday.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
salty, but I'm not hungry.
No, well, that's
Yeah.
it. Your body it's not like being on carbs and having a bag of a couple of donuts in the morning and muffin and then going and having whatever chicken wings but this you don't have the carbs, so I only eat once a day, and I'm probably not going to eat today. I'm going to work, but I just don't feel hungry, so I'm not eating. And that's something I never ever had before, was satiation. I
Yeah.
was always hungry. And now I'm never hungry. It's just such a switch. It's so nice
Yeah,
not to be food driven. Like go to
your
it.
satiety signals will come back.
Yeah, like go and get gas. First, what do? You go in and you buy a bag of chips or a chocolate bar or whatever and now that'd be the last thing I'd ever look at. So
Yeah.
that's what changes. That's what you'll notice. And after the 2 weeks, when you get straightened around, that you're never hungry. And that's the one really benefit of this, I find.
So next
Yeah,
week,
they always talk about food restriction, but it's I find it to be a form of food freedom. I don't worry about food. I eat when I'm hungry, and that's one thing, Caitlin, to remember in all this. Um, Eat like when you're hungry,
Yes,
eat,
eat. When you're hungry, eat. And eat lots.
and you can eat as much as you want. A lot of the experts in the space, the doctors will say, eat till you're comfortably stuffed. And if you're getting to a point where you're only eating once a day, a lot of them will tell you eat till your Thanksgiving stuff. Like so you can eat, and
Interesting.
that's not going to affect the bottom line.
Yeah, and that's something we were never, you can have small portions and eat 6 times a day and all that other things they tell you, and that's their lifestyle. That's fine. But in this particular lifestyle, you'll find you can't do that. Like I couldn't eat 6 times a day if I was, I just eat one nice size meal and that's fine. That's all I need.
So this week, to sum this up, I want to see a journal from you, Caitlin. I want to see kind of what you've been eating, how you've been feeling, and let us know about that withdrawal, because it's really neat to think about what this could be doing to your body, if it's something to do with the processed foods that you're eating, or just changing your diet drastically in general. We want to hear all about that. And then next week, I want to talk about to see if you've changed, if you've noticed a difference in how food appeals to you, if you're still really hungry. And I also want to get into the nitty gritties of where this carnivore diet came from and the theories behind it. So let's stay tuned for that. And I look forward to talking to you all next week and hearing about the ongoing journey from you guys who are the resident experts. And Caitlin, good luck on the 30-day challenge, or maybe future. Anyway, that's it. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming on. Yeah.
Thanks
Thank
for
you,
having
gentlemen,
me.
for coming on, and we'll see you next week. And this is the edition of the Try Your Thing podcast. What's Your Thing podcast, carnivore diet. We're going to follow through with this for at least the 30 days, and we're going to see how it goes. And if you like this, share with your friends, like us on YouTube, follow us on all the platforms, and subscribe. We want to hear from you. We want to try your thing. We want to know what's your thing, and we'll see you next time.
So make sure to check us out, what'syourthingpod.com. Check us out on Instagram, YouTube, follow us on TikTok. Check us out. We're going to have a blast. What's your thing?
What's your thing?